you need to do it as soon as possible so that you can inspect the trucks, look at what's going on, and get as much information as possible as soon as possible.
So what if you could get some insider tips from a former defense attorney who worked for the trucking companies for what you should do after you've been injured in a trucking accident? Well, we're going to do that right now because that's what we're going to Ask the Lawyer. Hi again, everybody. I'm Rob Rosenthal with AskTheLawyers.com, and my guest is Utah attorney Kevin Swenson. Kevin, good to see you. Thank you for making some time to help us out.
Good morning. Thank you.
I want to remind everybody that if you have questions about your specific situation, be sure to go to AskTheLawyers.com. Click on the button at the top of the screen that says Ask a Lawyer, and you can do it right there. You can ask your question. But right now, we're going to ask some questions of Kevin. So you're a plaintiff's attorney now, Kevin, but that hasn't always been the case. That hasn't always been your focus, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I started out my practice working for insurance companies and doing a lot of commercial motor vehicle cases in that realm. So that's right.
So you have a unique perspective as we talk about specifically today, injuries from collisions with trucks and big rigs and that sort of thing. Have you had a lot of experience representing people that have been injured in those ways?
I have. Yeah, that's something that we spend a significant amount of our time doing, and spend a lot of time learning about it and practicing it and handling those type of cases.
And coming from the background that you do, what does that? How does that help you? How does that give you an advantage in the courtroom?
I think it gives us an advantage because we know what insurance companies are doing to evaluate a case, what they're looking at, what their resources are, and who they're getting involved and when. And I think just knowing their game plan helps us, present our game plan and work it a little better and counter the issues that they're going to raise.
Let's talk about that a little bit, that game plan. So someone, let's say, is injured in a collision with an 18-wheeler. What is that driver doing? What are they doing in the trucking company as far as to help their case? And how quickly does that all go into action?
It goes into action very quickly. I've had a number of cases where the driver of the 18-wheeler will call his dispatcher before he'll call 911. And they want to make sure that they get their dispatcher online and tell them what to do and what to tell the police when they arrive. But a lot of these insurance companies that do a lot of trucking cases or commercial motor vehicle cases, they have a quick strike group. So they can call an attorney in that area. They've already got them set up. They have accident reconstructionists. They have somebody to go out and document everything while everything's still at the scene. So they can get on the case extremely quickly and move very quickly.
Which I'm guessing could be a disadvantage to the injured party if they don't also have somebody on their side getting to the scene as quickly as possible.
Exactly. So yeah, you need to get out there quickly, start doing an investigation and get as much information as you can. These commercial motor vehicles have so much electronic data on them. If you don't get to that early, there's a chance you don't ever get it.
So does sometimes that information, that evidence, does it sometimes disappear?
It's funny that you asked that, but we've seen that a number of times where you'll go out and inspect a truck and, actually get out and dig through it rather than just, take some pictures of it. And on the windshield, you'll see a spot where there was something attached to it and now it's gone, and start tracking it and see that there's a cord in there where they had a dash cam, but now it's gone. Or they had some sort of device attached there and they've taken it down. And I've seen that on more than one occasion. So yeah, some of that stuff can disappear if you're not careful.
Unfortunately, Kevin, when it's a collision between a passenger vehicle and an 18-wheeler, more than likely that person in the passenger vehicle oftentimes is going to be injured. They may be taken to the hospital, maybe serious catastrophic injuries. What can be done then? They may not be able to get on the phone to call someone like you. Can their family members, can others call on their behalf?
Sure. Yeah. Anybody can call and get somebody out there and investigate the scene, kind of get what we can get. Also, the electronic data is going to be stored for a period of time. So if you can't get it done immediately, because you're trying to take care of your medical problems and stuff like that, That's understandable, but you need to do it as soon as possible so that you can inspect the trucks, look at what's going on, and get as much information as possible as soon as possible.
Sometimes it seems like it's daunting. I'm just a guy driving my car down the highway. They've got, the trucking company, and it's a big company, and it's a big insurance company, and they've got their attorneys and their support. Can the little guy take on the big guys, and how does that work?
They can. And if you try to do that yourself, it is daunting because, how can I go after this company and they've got so many insurance resources, they've got some number of trucks, they're big, they're all over the road. But you just go after them one at a time, and you get somebody who knows what they're doing, knows where to go, where to get the information. And there's a lot of information available about trucking companies and drivers out there if you know what you're doing. So you can use your skill and your expertise that, you've seen different stuff come up, and you can get that same kind of information and you can fight them.
So that kind of leads me to the next question is that how do I know if I'm picking an attorney like yourself who has experience, who does know where to go down and fight for my behalf? How do I pick? Is everybody the same? Help me out there.
Yeah, that's a great question because a lot of people advertise, that we do truck crashes. And for so many people, they just treat a truck crash as just a big car crash. And they're so different because the number of rules and regulations that govern, what a truck driver, what a trucking company, what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to do it. Those rules are quite detailed. And if you don't know those and understand those, you're not going to be able to get the results that you need to for your clients. So yeah, just saying we do trucking cases is not enough. You need somebody who's actually done it, who's done it successfully, and who can do it again.
Is it important, Kevin, to find an attorney who is willing to take a case all the way to court, all the way to trial if necessary, is not just looking for a quick settlement?
Absolutely. If an insurance company knows that you're an attorney that's not going to take a case to trial, then your option is to settle it. Generally, you're not going to put in the time and the resources to prepare that case the same as if you're going to trial, and the insurance companies know that. So you do not as good of a job of working up the case. They know that, and so their best offer is what you're stuck with because they say, well, we know you're not going to trial, so here's our offer, and you really don't have a choice. So you've got to be willing to take a case and take it all the way through, and an insurance company needs to know that you're willing to do that and make that fight.
I would imagine insurance company, not only they know who's willing to go to trial, they know someone like yourself who may have, who has the experience from the other side. They probably are not happy when they see your name on the suit.
Yeah, that's one thing about insurance companies is they are very good at tracking information. They know what kind of crashes they pay out on, who they pay them to, whether you'll go to trial. They always know when your last trial was, what the result of it was. So yeah, they do track information very well.
So who you choose is important. Lots of great information, Kevin. Thank you so much for taking some time to answer our questions.
Thank you.
That's going to do it for this episode of Ask the Lawyer. My guest has been Utah attorney Kevin Swenson. Remember, if you want to ask questions about your specific situation, just go to AskTheLawyers.com. Click the button at the top that says Ask a Lawyer, and you can it'll walk you right through the process of asking right there. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Rob Rosenthal with Ask the Lawyers.